Using the train in Italy is a great way to move around the country, but it does come with its challenges.
Beware of pickpockets.
But don't worry, we're about to answer the 21 most essential questions about train travel in Italy so you have a stress-free trip. And take notes and pay attention to number 9 if you don't want to get fined hundreds of dollars. But now let's go straight to it. Question number 1, how do you book your tickets?
Okay, there are several ways to buy train tickets for your vacation in Italy, and we're going to start with how to get them at the station. So option number 1 is buying them from an actual human. So larger and mid-sized train stations in Italy, they will have something called a biglietteria, and this is basically a ticket office, and the ticket office will have a human, a person who is happy to help you buy your ticket and get you to where you need to go. In more touristy places, this person will almost always speak English. In less touristy places, you never really know what you're gonna get, but they're always, again, happy to help you, and they'll give you these big airline-sized train tickets to go on your journey.
They're very official.
Very official train tickets for a half-hour ride. Option number 2, buying from a self-service machine. So we just mentioned that the larger stations will have a biglietteria. Well, a lot of the smaller and some other regional stations will absolutely not have a biglietteria, but they almost always will have a self-service machine. This is very easy to use. We used it for, I guess, like 90% of all the tickets that we bought in Italy. You just go up there, select your language, follow the prompts, make the payment, and voila, your tickets get printed for you and you're ready to go. Option 3, buying online. So the biggest train operator in Italy is Trenitalia. They operate 3 different types of trains: the regional train, intercity train, and a type of bullet train. Of course, they have a website, and on that website you can purchase tickets for any one of those different train types. Also, there is a different type of bullet train in Italy. It's a private company called Italo, and of course they have a website where you can buy tickets for them. And there is a third website that's called Trainline, which is a great website. It's kind of an aggregator, and you can buy Trenitalia and Italo trains right there. So we'll put something on the screen here with the 3 different websites so you can take notes or take a picture and you'll know exactly where to go to buy your tickets online. And last but not least, the 4th option for buying your tickets is to buy them through an app, and Trainline is the app that we recommend. It is very easy to use and you can buy tickets for all the different types of trains like Italo and Trenitalia. You can also search schedules there. It's super easy. Trenitalia also has an app, but it's clunky and we absolutely do not recommend it.
And 2 very important things to remember that are going to make your trip so much better. The first one is when you're buying your tickets online or through the app, you are going to receive a QR code, and that is your ticket. So you have to have it with you because they do check for tickets inside the trains in Italy.
And the second important thing is that when buying tickets, the city names and the station names are always in Italian, even if you have selected English on the self-service machines. So if you search, for example, Florence, nothing's gonna come up. You have to search Firenze, and Firenze station is Santa Maria Novella. So you have to type in that, or even Firenze might not work, but know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main point, is that know where you're going and know your station and city names in Italian.
Question number 2, how far in advance should you purchase your tickets? Well, first of all, these standard regional trains, they have very frequent daily departures, so you have plenty of options going from point A to point B. The high-speed trains, they typically also have a lot of options every single day, but they can sell out. So in terms of how much ahead of time to buy your tickets, there are 3 things to keep in mind. Are you planning to take a regional or high-speed train? Is the route you're going on a popular one? And what is the season that you're traveling in? Our advice is to always buy high-speed train tickets several weeks in advance, especially for more popular routes like Milan to Florence or Milan to Rome, and even more especially in the busy summer months when everyone and their neighbor is in Italy. For the regional trains, you really don't have to buy your tickets in advance. This is because they don't sell out.
And the prices are fixed.
And the prices are fixed. And related to not selling out, there's also some issues with comfort, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yes. Question number 3, can you pay with credit card? Yes, you can pay with both credit card and cash. So obviously when you're buying your tickets online, you can pay with credit card. And when you're buying your tickets at the station, you're gonna have both options. Sometimes some machines are only cash or only credit card, but you're always gonna have both options. We never had a problem. We always use our credit card 100% of the times that we purchase our tickets. Number 4, is there enough space for your suitcase? And this is one of the more unpredictable aspects of train travel in Italy, because when it comes to luggage storage, you really never know what you're going to get. And this brings us to a very important point, is that having the right suitcase when visiting Italy makes all the difference. And that is why we are so excited to introduce you to today's sponsor and our go-to suitcase brand, Level 8 Suitcases. Let me tell you 3 reasons why level 8 is a perfect choice for your upcoming Italian getaway. First of all, they're ultra lightweight and easy to maneuver. With 360-degree spinner wheels, navigating crowded train stations, busy city streets, and those hilltop towns will be a breeze. Number 2, level 8 bags have such a classic design. Seriously, even the stylish Italians are going to be impressed with how beautiful your new suitcase is. And last but not least, these babies are built to endure anything that Italy throws your way. Think of cobblestone streets, the occasional rain shower, and even spilled gelato. We both travel with 20-inch carry-on bags. Mine is called the Voyager and I love it so much. I picked the beautiful limited edition Celadon color, and the main reason why I picked this bag is because it has an ultra-wide handle that gives me more space inside my suitcase and I can neatly pack all my things.
And I roll with the navy blue luminous textured carry-on, and honestly guys, both these bags are so sturdy and durable with their polycarbonate material, and they just glide like they're on ice. It's so amazing. So if you guys are ready to get your own level 8 bag, head to the description and click the link or scan the QR code above, and make sure to use code Waves of the World for your 10% discount. So now that you have your perfect suitcase sorted, let's head back to the big question: is there enough space on Italian trains for your luggage? Finding a good place to store all your stuff on Italian trains is actually a little bit more complicated than you might expect. So just bear with us a sec as we try to explain all the details, because it might kind of influence which train you decide to take and which will be more comfortable. So first of all, for the regional trains, the most common place to put your stuff is on like small overhead open compartments. These will easily fit like backpacks or our small level 8 carry-ons. If you have bigger bags, typically there is a luggage storage at the entryway at the door, but they really fill up very fast, so you probably won't find space. If you don't find space, you're gonna have to hang out by the door with your bag like we often did for very many trips.
Yeah.
Or you can be that person that leaves it in the aisle, or you can be an even worse person that puts it in the chair. If you put it in the chair, you're going to get many dirty looks, and you might get the train attendant to like yell at you.
Say something because it's technically not allowed.
It's not allowed.
Yeah.
So if it's a busy train and you're taking up space with your suitcase on a seat, you will get scolded in Italian. You don't want that. However, the more premium high-speed trains, they do have larger compartments in each one of the carriages to store all your bags. So with them, it is a lot easier.
A lot easier.
And just kind of an aside, some of the trains have like little step-ups from the platform into the train. So if you're carrying like heavy suitcases up and down, it is really not that comfortable.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our next question: how many pieces of luggage can you bring onto the train?
There are no limits to how many suitcases you can bring on board regional trains, and you also don't have to pay for those suitcases. However, you are required to storage them properly, meaning doing any of the things that we just described. You basically cannot have your luggage blocking people's ways. We recommend that you travel light if you're going to be taking the train. It is way easier. It is what we do. I made a video that you can check out in the description. You have to put your email and I'll send you a link with my exact packing process. Every single thing that I think about before packing for a trip, how I select my outfits and all that stuff. So if you are a girl and you're interested in traveling light but still looking good, check the description and put your email and you'll get the link to that video.
And also important to mention, for the high-speed trains, you have Frecce, which allows you to bring 2 pieces of normal size not carry-on checked luggage per person. And then for Italo, you are allowed to basically bring as much luggage as you want, but still it's a lot nicer to travel light. We recommend it. It's the way to go in Italy, trust us. Question number 6, is information provided in English? In general, it kind of depends. So remember when we mentioned those automated ticket machines? Of course, for those, you can select English as your language and it's very easy to follow. Once you're inside the station, like the automated boards that give all the train information, they're usually in Italian and English at the larger stations. I think sometimes they are only in Italian.
Yeah.
Also, once you're inside the train, the information is also in English and Italian, and the announcements over the intercom are also in Italian and English.
But the cities, even when they're saying the cities and the announcement in English, the city is always going to be in Italian. So you have to learn your cities in Italian, have a little list or whatever. You need to know the Italian names for the cities.
So it'll be like, next stop, Venezia.
Yeah, well, exactly like that. We have some words for you, so we're gonna put them in the screen. I'm gonna test Gordon just to see if he remembers.
Wow.
And we'll put them in the screen and just take a picture or a screenshot so you save these words for when you're there, because these are gonna be very handy. So let's start with train.
Treno,
Trains.
treni,
Central.
centrale,
Station.
stazione,
Ticket.
biglietto,
Tickets.
biglietti,
Departures.
partenze,
Arrivals.
arrivi,
Arrivi.
arrivi,
Platform.
binario,
Delayed.
ritardo,
On time.
in orario,
Yes. Next stop.
prossima fermata.
Prossima.
Prossima fermata.
Fermata.
This one.
Yes. Just take a screenshot of all the words on the screen. You're really going to need them.
How early should you arrive to the station? So train stations in Italy are major transport hubs, especially when you're talking about the bigger ones like Roma Termini or the one in Florence, Santa Maria Novella.
Yeah.
So you do have to get there early, but also not too early because there's really not that many places to lounge. And even though there are restaurants, the restaurants don't have like a ton of seating and they're not that great.
Yeah.
So give yourself enough time to kind of get oriented and look at the information screen and figure out where you're leaving from. And if you have to buy your ticket, of course, give yourself time. to
Yeah,
buy the
exactly.
ticket.
So basically what we did for the bigger stations, 30 minutes before. For the smaller stations, 10 minutes before. If you happen to find yourself there earlier, you're gonna find a nice place to wait and you might even have fun, so no worries.
What to do when you arrive to the station. So after you have your ticket, what you want to do is look at the information board and figure out what platform you are leaving from. The way to do this is with your train number. So do not use your final destination because the final destination might not be where you're getting off.
Yep.
For example, if you're going on a train from, say, Bologna to Rome, the final destination of that train might actually be Napoli. So it'll say Napoli as the destination on the information board. But this is our cat. If you use the train number, you'll always be okay. The
Yeah,
train number
exactly.
is your North Star.
That's very important. 1 second.
That's Andy. Okay, and after you know where your train leaves from, there's one thing that you absolutely cannot forget, and that brings us to our very next question, number 9.
Do you need to validate your ticket?
What do you say, Andy?
Gee.
Yes, you guys, you absolutely do have to validate your ticket for all regional trains. This is essential. What happens if you don't validate your ticket? You can get fined, busted on board, and get charged like €200 or something like that. It's really insane. And validating your ticket is kind of unfamiliar for a lot of foreigners, I think. But if you do have like a physical ticket that you purchase at the station, you just have to go to a little machine that is literally all over the station.
Yeah. It's
Insert
very easy
it.
to find. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, and it does like a little stamp. You probably can't even see it, and then it's validated, and you're good to go.
Don't forget.
Do not forget, if you're on the train and you didn't validate it, and you realize that you didn't validate it, you will be so stressed out. It is not pleasant.
Yeah.
And one other thing, for the bullet trains, you do not need a validated ticket because you have an assigned seat. And also, if you buy regional train tickets online, then you also don't need to validate because somehow the
It's only
QR
for
code
physical tickets.
is validated.
Yeah. Number 10, the trains in Italy sell food. So the regional trains, they don't sell food, but you're obviously more than welcome to bring your own food. You can buy it outside of the train station or at the little cafe or the big cafes at the train station. And for the bullet trains, they do have cafes inside the train. The options, I think, are very basic, but they do have food in the bullet trains.
Are the trains comfortable? In general, I'd say that they are comfortable. Like the seats on the regional trains are comfortable enough. They're also usually pretty clean. The only thing is because you don't have assigned seats that you won't always have a place to sit. Sometimes you'll have.
Depends on the route and the season too, but yeah.
Sometimes you have to stand. We have to stand sometimes. For the higher speed trains and the kind of
Bullet trains.
higher speed intercity trains, you will have a assigned seat, and therefore it's automatically more comfortable. They also have different classes of service. So I think the bullet trains have 4 different classes. They have like the standard class, and then business and executive class.
They're very nice trains, the bullet trains.
They're very nice. They're very fast, comfortable.
Way
good
more
service.
expensive, but they're very nice. Are there bathrooms on board? Yes, there are bathrooms. All trains have bathrooms towards the end of the cart. We didn't use them much, but obviously we filled them for you, and the ones we saw were perfectly clean, and they even had toilet paper, so you have nothing to worry about if you need to use the restroom on board.
Are there assigned seats? So this is something that we've alluded to several times throughout this video so far, but just to reiterate, there are no assigned seats on the regional trains. It is a first come, first served kind of situation. So We hope you guys will find some seats. The intercity trains and the high-speed trains, they do have assigned seats. So if you want to travel more comfortably, those are definitely the way to go. The ticket will have a carriage number and a seat number. So make sure you get on the right carriage, otherwise you're gonna be walking up and down the entire train looking for your seat. So just look at your ticket, know where you're going.
There's always someone to ask. So
That too.
yeah. Is the cat in the shower? Are you in it?
And you're famous.
Are you in it? Is there Wi-Fi? I feel like every answer is a yes and no because the regional trains are very different than the high-speed trains and the intercity trains. The regional trains, they don't have Wi-Fi. The bullet trains do have Wi-Fi. What did I say?
Like
Bullet?
baller trains. They are more baller.
Yeah, they are. Keep in mind that they do have outlets, so if you need to charge your stuff, you're able to do that. Just remember to bring your travel adapter. We're going to link ours in the description. That's the one we've had since the beginning of our travels.
3 years.
Yes.
Is traveling by train in Italy safe? So first off, let's talk about the situation at the stations themselves. They can be very busy. So like Florence, Rome, all the big ones, super busy. You do have to be aware of pickpockets.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't just like leave your backpack somewhere and go and buy like a gelato. That's not a good idea. Also, when you're at the automated ticket machines, don't accept help from anyone that doesn't actually work at the station. We have heard stories of like beggars or thieves coming up to you and like stealing money out of your hand or like credit cards.
Or like
stuff
pretending to help you, but
Yeah.
then they don't help you. It just don't accept help.
We didn't encounter that, but we know that it happens. So inside the train itself, you also generally have to be aware of pickpockets. They make the announcement on the train in different languages, so you can assume that it does happen.
Yeah.
But we never noticed anything happening around us
Or to us.
or to us. Also
It's
be
a
aware
fight.
we saw like 3 fights on the train, and this all happened in like the first week of our 11-week trip throughout Italy. So we were super nervous. We're like, oh my god, this is gonna be a pretty crazy experience, but it happened and then didn't happen again for 10 weeks. So
Exactly. It was fine. We never felt unsafe.
We never felt
That is the
unsafe.
problem. If you do arrive at night at a station and it feels like it can be a little bit eerie, it could be
Just quiet and
just
dark.
quiet. Just take a taxi. That's what we did. We didn't want to walk at night with our belongings outside the train station, so you just do the same to be safe.
So all that may have sounded kind of negative, but we always felt totally fine.
We did.
Just roll with it.
Just stories to tell.
What to do if you don't have a ticket? So this might sound like a totally crazy question, but if you're visiting smaller towns, there will absolutely be stations where there is no working ticket machine or any kind of person to help you buy a ticket. If that happens, then your best bet is to quickly get on an app and buy a ticket. But if you don't have access to the internet or to an app, then just hop on the train and try to look for the person that is checking tickets ASAP.
Yeah.
Don't play it cool. Try to find them, and they can also sell tickets to you. I think it's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But they do sell it.
Yeah.
Just don't pretend like you just got on board and we're trying to get a free ride.
Yeah.
Pro tip. How to manage train connections. So if you're traveling throughout Italy, especially for longer routes, you will likely have to make some kind of connection. Sometimes those connections don't give you a lot of time. So how to manage these, the thing that you want to do is always kind of be up to date with what's happening with your connecting train.
Yeah.
The best way to do that is with the Trainline app that we talked about in the very beginning. They have kind of like updated information about what binario, what platform your next train is leaving from. And it will also tell you if that train is delayed. So if you do have a short connection time, but the other train is delayed, then you don't have to run like an insane person to the next platform. Once you do get to the station where you do have to connect, there's oftentimes like stairs that you have to go down to get to the next platform, but it's pretty easy. There's always signage that can point you to different places.
Your ticket lasts 4 hours. You didn't mention that.
That
So,
too.
like, yeah.
So regional tickets, if you miss your connection for whatever reason, like your original train was late, your connecting ticket is still valid for 4 hours after that for the same route. So you don't have to purchase a new ticket.
Yeah.
Just hop on
The next train, and hopefully it's within 4 hours. Are trains in Italy on time? In our experience, yes. And we were kind of surprised because we read all kinds of reviews about them being late all the time, and we only experienced like a minor delay. And we took a lot of trains. We were in Italy for 11 weeks and we almost exclusively moved around by train, and we were just fine. Keep an eye on the word ritardo. Remember, the word means delayed. That's what you're gonna see on the screen if your train is delayed. Besides for that, strikes.
Yeah, so strikes do happen. In Italy, it's kind of weird. They like pre-announce strikes,
Yeah.
but if you're a foreigner, you probably won't know about it. So you might just show up at the station and there might be a sign, this happened to us, kind of indicating that there was a strike happening. Thankfully, our train wasn't on strike, but
Yeah.
others were leaving
Yeah.
that station. So
The sign was in Italian too.
Yeah.
We kind of figured it out because we speak Spanish, but
Yeah. And I think the strikes happen more in the summer. So I think that also causes delays.
Okay.
So
okay.
how do
Yeah.
foreigners keep an eye out for strikes? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I don't know. You just have to be lucky like we were.
This is maybe another plug for the high-speed trains. They don't go on strike. So Italo and the Frecce trains, they don't go on strike. So if you don't want to worry about it,
Just
You have
take
an
the
option.
train. Yes.
Question 19, how to save money on train travel in Italy. So this is gonna surprise you, but it is very easy to save money on train travel by buying your tickets in advance.
Yeah.
Obviously, this does not apply to the regional tickets, which have fixed prices, but when you're talking about the bullet train
Bullet train.
prices, it can vary a ton. So we're gonna put up a little screenshot here of the different prices for the bullet train for 1 day before your departure, 1 week, and 1 month. And you can see when you go out further in time that the prices are actually pretty similar between the bullet trains and even like the super slow regional trains.
Yeah.
So if you are someone that likes to plan in advance and you kind of know exactly where you're going for your vacation,
Which days and everything, just book your tickets.
book your bullet train tickets.
Yeah.
You'll get there so much faster. The price difference between regional and bullet can be super nominal. The best place to search is trainline.com because there you can look for the Frecce trains and also Italo in the
You
same
can
place.
compare them,
You
yeah.
have to go to like the both
Yeah.
websites.
We wish we had taken advantage of this, but like we don't plan that much
Yeah, we
in
were a little bit
advance.
more like spontaneous, I guess.
But you guys should do this. Save money and take the bullet train.
Oh, and one final thing. Then Italia, they do offer some kind of pass where you can get like bundled trips, like 3 tickets within 7 days or 5 tickets or trips within 2 weeks. It doesn't seem like a great offer when you look at the price, so we just don't necessarily recommend that you do that, and it's better to just look in advance and do it that way.
Yeah.
Can you get anywhere in Italy by train? In short, no, you cannot. So Italy's network is very expansive, but there's an important but. Once you're going to southern Italy, it's not as well connected as the north. So especially like below Napoli, like Puglia, Sicily, that area, it's not the same as if you were traveling in north. So if you're just sticking to the popular places like Rome, Venice, Florence, Milan, you'll have no problem. If you're going further south, then A, it's not as connected, so it's going to be like slower with more connections. And
a lot
B,
of stops.
a lot of stops. And B, it might just be a lot faster to take the bus.
Or rent a car.
Or rent a car. One interesting thing, even though Sicily is an island, you can reach Sicily by train from the mainland. This is something that we learned after coming back from our vacation, but if you want to do that, you totally can. Also, smaller towns like in Tuscan hill cities, you can't get to a lot of them with train. You have to take like a local bus or drive there.
Yeah.
So basically the answer is no, not really. Question number 21. In summary, what are the best trains to take in Italy? Well, it really kind of depends on what kind of traveler you are.
Yeah.
If you're a budget traveler and you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, you don't really have like an entire plan of where you want to go next, then definitely the regional trains are usually the cheapest. They are definitely the most flexible. They'll give you like the most daily options for travel to certain destinations, and they just have services to smaller towns and random places that you might want to end up in.
That's why we took 95% of the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. If you have less time in Italy and you want to get to places faster and more comfortably, then the bullet trains are by far the best option.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are more expensive. However, like we just mentioned, if you are planning in advance, the prices can be pretty competitive with the regional trains. So in summary, if you're going to like bigger destinations where there is service for those bullet trains, like all like the major cities and touristy places, book in advance, do the bullet train. It's faster, more comfortable.
It's just better.
It's just, yeah,
It's more reliable.
It's more reliable, yeah, exactly. We'll put like a little table with all like the key points for the different train types. So you have the regional, the intercity, and the 2 different types of bullet trains and all their pros and cons.
Pros and cons, basically, yeah. So you can decide for yourself.
Yeah. And this point is more of a question for us, but what is our favorite and maybe least favorite part of train travel in Italy? I'll start with our favorite, and that is just like the options that you have. So the regional trains are pretty cool because you can just like show up to a station. One day we just went to the Florence station, picked a name out of a hat and went there, and that's all possible in Italy because there's so many different ways to get from point A to point B.
That was a great adventure, by the way. I'm gonna link that video so you guys can check it out because it's cool.
And alternatively, if you want to travel like in style and quickly, they have the bullet trains, which are really like world class, and you have great options in Italy.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Exactly. Options for everyone, it's always a good thing. The least favorite thing was the luggage storage. Not that we like suffer because of that, because we travel with small carry-ons and a backpack. But for you guys, just know, please travel light. We recommend it. It's just so much easier to move around Italy if you are traveling with carry-on only. And remember, you can use the code Waste of the World to get 10% discount off your level 8 bags. I'm gonna put the QR code here, and I'm gonna put the link in the description as well. Thank you for watching. Leave your questions in the comments if you have them, and we'll be happy to answer them. Bye!
Have fun in Italy!
Buon viaggio!
Is that right?
Someone will let us know.